and welcome back to more Super Mario Bros. So last time, we made it through worlds 4, 5, and 6, and this time, we're hopefully going to get through worlds 7 and 8. So things really escalate in this part of the game. The difficulty goes up considerably. Look at how many bullet bills we just had to dodge. Now we're dealing with Hammer Bros. Yeah, the difficulty is nothing to sneeze at going forward. I find this game pretty leisurely up until the very end, when things get really difficult. So we have a hidden fire flower here. It's actually easier to get this as a fire flower than as a regular mushroom, because it can actually go off the side. By the way, mushrooms always go to the right side, they never go left in this game. And with that, 7-1 is done. And now you know why I was so insistent on trying to get a fire flower. We have another underwater stage, so the level is a little bit trickier, a lot more bloopers as you can see. So with fire flower power-ups, we don't have to worry too much. Even then, bloopers actually have a fatal flaw. They actually cannot touch the lowest part of the map, so you can actually just sit at the bottom and crouch as Super Mario, or just stand regularly as small Mario to just avoid them until they move into a better spot. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, if they designed it that way. It's like having the lowest row as like a safe spot against the bloopers, or if that was like a programming error. Who knows? Either way, we're almost done. I'm playing this very safe because there are not a ton of chances to get power-ups going forward, so to be really on the safe side, I'm trying to get through as much of the game's Fire Mario as possible. Alright, so 7-3 is a repeat of 2-3, except with more enemies. Honestly, my best advice would be don't slow down, because I find if you actually slow down, it gets worse. If you just kind of barrel through, it's not that bad. Like, trying to get the power-up in this version will get you killed more often than it helps you, I find. So yeah, just kind of barrel through. If you have Fire Mario, don't stop and worry about power-ups or coins, just get through it as quickly as possible. So, on to 7-4, which is finally another original level. It's a maze, so we have to go bottom, middle, top, like so, and then we need to go top. I'm not sure if this platform is important, so I'm gonna jump back there. Top, middle... Wait. I think we jump up here. I kinda did that really weirdly, so I don't know if it'll count it. I think it did? Yeah, it did. Once you start seeing flames, that means you probably did it right. Now that we have fire going into this, got a Hammer Bro, fittingly enough. And, of course, the princess is in another castle. So, I am feeling good about this run, tentatively. We are going into World 8 with fire, that's good. But I tend to die from pits a lot in these next two stages. So if we have to, we can get Fire Mario one more time, going into World 8-4. So even if we lose fire here, or in the next stage, there's still hope. For later, get the star, or it can just bounce off to the side. Unless they hit like a wall, the power-ups always go right in this game. They never go left. That was added in Super Mario Bros. 3, where if you hit the block on the right side, they'll go left, and vice versa. Here's a tricky jump. I sometimes lose too much speed and then fall into the second pit. But I've gotten pretty okay with that. World 8-1 and 8-2 are where I got stuck as a kid on the deluxe version, so I'm very familiar with these levels at this point. Actually, that's not even entirely true. 8-3 was also a bad one, which we'll see in a bit. 8-3 is honestly easier than 8-2, I find, nowadays. When I first played the game, I hated 8-3, but nowadays I find this not that bad, or find that not that bad. That was risky. I could have gotten hit by the bullet bill there. That was also risky because the hitbox just happened to work in my favor. But yeah, this is what I meant. We have a mushroom there, there's a fire flower opportunity in the next level, so we should be okay. Here's why this level is so bad for me. Sometimes I miss that second block that I jump off of, and then just fall into the pit. Even now, after playing this game so many times, I still screw that up sometimes. That was close. With that, 8-2 is done, so only one more regular level. Alright, 8-3 is not really a platforming challenge, it's kind of more of a gauntlet. So we have Hammer Bros starting out, good sign. And up here in this block, I've basically got this memorized at this point. We got a fire flower, and now we don't have to worry, assuming we don't get clipped by a bullet bill or something. Basically, the biggest problem is Hammer Bros, so if you have fire flowers, you can breeze through here pretty easily. I'm taking this very slow because I do not want to lose this. For this segment right up here, you have just a row of Hammer Bros, and I find it kind of difficult if you can't just, you know, take them out from a distance like that. Hidden block here, not so hidden really. And with that, we have reached the end. I'm pretty sure I've died here, so, definitely be careful. And with that, we enter our final level. Starting out, we have a somewhat difficult jump here. I don't know how to do that quickly, that's bad. Going into this without fire. Those Goomba hitboxes tend to mess me up a lot. Sometimes I land between the Goombas and die. This piranha plant always despawns for some reason. I don't know why. Now we have a Buzzy Beetle room. By the way, this is a maze. You have to take specific pipes to progress. So yeah. Gotta kind of memorize the right route. Obviously I do have this memorized. Again, I'm getting really oddly lucky with some of these jumps, just bouncing off enemies really well, without really meaning to, just worked out well. Last underwater segment, I almost grazed that fire bar, that would have been really unfortunate. And now we have our last challenge. We have our final Hammer Bro to deal with. Okay, we're good. We got past the tough part, and yes, I find the Hammer Bro tougher than Bowser. Thank you, Mario. Your quest is over. We present you a new quest. Push button B to select the world. So with that, we have finished Super Mario Bros. But, if we push B, we get something special. When we hit start, by the way there's 2-player, something special happens. We get to play the game again, except Goombas are replaced with Buzzy Beetles. The platforms, like in 1-3, are smaller by default. And yeah, you basically get like a harder variant of the main story. As your reward, so I guess if you want to complete the game, you actually have to do a second run. We will not be doing a full second run, but I do want to show something really quickly now that we have time. First of all, the two-player mode is interesting actually, so I feel like I should talk about that as we enter 1-2 once more. Alright, so the two-player mode works really weirdly in this game. So instead of alternating between one person playing Mario and one person playing Luigi, instead the way it works is that you alternate whenever one player dies. So hypothetically, one person can beat the entire game, and then player 2 gets control, and then gets to beat the game themselves. It's a really weird setup, I don't quite like it. By the way, because I never showed them in the main playthrough, that's a 1-up mushroom. Normally they're a little bit brighter than that, but we're underground, so it mutes the color palette. But what I wanted to show in this level is 1, the platforms being smaller, but 2, the famed warp zones. Welcome to Warp Zone. So we can go to worlds 2, 3, or 4. We are going to opt for world 4. By doing this, we go to 4-1, so we're just gonna quickly breeze through through this level. I want to show the Prana plants. I might mess this up. There, we kind of go through the Prana plant if we jump it right. This is often used in speedrunning. So yeah, 1-2 and 4-2 are probably some of the most important levels in the entire speedrun to optimize, because you really don't play that much of the game if you're actually speedrunning it. The time is like under 5 minutes now for the world record, actually. World 4-2 actually has 2 warps. One warp at the end that doesn't go all the way to the end. It works a lot like the one we just did, where you have to go along the ceiling, but there's actually a second hidden warp that I didn't know about for the longest time. It's actually right up here. So just kind of hit this block to the left and you get a hidden vine. And yes, our second appearance of the mushrooms in this game. They really don't appear very much in this one. And with that, we get a ton of coins and our warp to World 8. So the normal warp would only go to World 5, so these are the remaining 3 pipes. And with that, we have gone over everything I wanted to talk about with the original Super Mario Bros. To reiterate, this game does mean a lot to me as my very first video game, I think. I still like 3 better, and World, to be honest. But I think this one holds up reasonably well for a 35-year-old game. But with that being said, next time we're gonna jump into a different game. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for that.